Yay. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to Tuesday Tarot Readings. My name is Sadhana. So I just went to grab a deck that somebody requested. And if you have any other deck requests, please let me know. Happy to either pop out and grab them, or maybe they're on my table already. So welcome. I'll use this for Joseph's reading. If Joseph has a question today, I can do that for sure. So that is on the table. And I'm feeling kind of pagan otherworlds. I don't know why. That's very strange, but not my go-to deck. I'm going to do a reading for that. But I would just like to kind of reflect on the energy of this day, this 17th day of November. The moon is waxing. And how's everybody doing? How is everybody doing out there in the world? Let me know. And I don't really have a particular focus for the group reading today. Just give me a second here and I'll see if I can bring something to mind. Unless one of you want to offer something like a question for the group reading, something for the collective, something that's come up at work with your clients, with your family. I feel like, maybe it's just going to be a general message. Hi, Jen. Good morning to you. Jen says a lot of people have been talking about odd energies. So perhaps a general on that. Good idea. Good idea. I think we should do an oracle card as well, too. I got a new oracle deck. The Mandy Peterson's deck arrived yesterday. The Past Lives Oracle. So that's kind of exciting. I've got the Oracle of Echoes on the table here today, so I'll use that one. Okay. So for this opening reading, let's bring to mind, it's like if you can imagine, so close your eyes and imagine a circle and imagine people standing around the circle and all of their energies being drawn together in a way that supports the circle. So they all become stronger and healthier and more inspired. By standing in the circle, they get a sense of peace in their hearts. Like instead of the collective creating chaos, it creates beauty. And so as I shuffle these cards and I'm thinking about a group message, something to come through to provide insight and clarity to the chaotic, odd energy that is around everywhere, my question is about what is it that we need to infuse our circles with light? Is there some insight into that? Did you ever notice that the pagan otherworlds is heavy? Like, I don't know if it's the what do you call it? The core. The core is heavy. Okay, so let's do this. And hopefully the light will cooperate. I do have 2 more lights I can turn on if needed. Ooh, that was a sticky separation. Okay, so here is the Oracle card. Interesting. All right, so hopefully that will focus. Aren't you kind of tired? Are you tired of hanging around home? I kind of feel like we've been missing out. You know, there's been a lot of lessons, a lot of teachings, a lot of messages, a lot of, sorry, I just needed a sip of something warm. A lot of messages about the beauty of being home, about the transformation of being home, about the everything that has shifted for everybody because of our experience of being home. But I feel like the tarot cards that are going to come around this one are going to kind of give us a different perspective. You know what I mean? Like, I'm tired of this message. I want a different message. I know there's energy in being home. Okay. People. Okay. And this is just going to, I just need to kind of figure out where we are with angles for today for cards. So does that work? Love the bear and the strength card. And this is not quite the season that I'm in right now, but I really feel the energy of this. And so the first thing I want to say is that the moon is waxing. It's not waning right now. And this is definitely waning energy. The card above certainly supports, you know, the strength that's needed through this chaotic energy that everybody is experiencing. And I just want to see if there's any subtle art in this King of Swords. I mean, we do have the bear repeated here. So we do have, I don't know if you noticed, like we have the bear here is part of his hood. And we also have the bear here. It's a different species of bear, it looks like. But still we have bear energy repeated. So that in the underlying message for all of this appears to be one of tremendous strength and perseverance. And it feels like with this card over here that we're going to need to be in that energy for a little while. And so to find the where are you? There you are. To find the comfort, to find our strength at home. And, you know, for those of us that feel like we've been at home a long time, as I have been repeating over and over, how do we do that? Like, how do we dig deep enough to continue to find that strength and support at home? To continue to grow with this, because it doesn't appear like anything is changing anytime soon. And so this King of Swords is really asking us to step up, because I think this King of Swords is challenging us to make this greater. You know, we kind of fell into, okay, yeah, I can work from home. I can do what I need to do from home. Maybe I'm homeschooling my kids. But I feel like that King of Swords is like picking up his sword and saying, you can do better. You can do better. And that Five of Pentacles over there is a reminder that there is stillness and there is peace and there is beauty in the, oh, okay, I'm going to try to, I have this picture in my mind. So home can be very peaceful and calm and still. The picture on the right is not a sad picture. It's a beautiful, calm, and peaceful picture. Yes, it's a barren landscape, but also barren landscapes are a place to create something new. And over in the King of Swords, I see this new growth and this small plant on the left and this butterfly. And it's almost like the King of Swords is saying, okay, yeah, you've had, I don't know, 7, 8 months at this, and nothing is really going to change anytime soon. And so now you've been kind of mucking around with all of this, and now you really, really need to do this and do it big. Do it bigger than you ever could, and let that inner bear in you come out and roar, because it's time for you to fill this barren landscape with something really beautiful. Like, this is about your transformation. It's about your transformation to really seeing your inner strength in a completely different way. So how is that going to present itself? And why is home the foundation of this reading? Maybe that's terrifies a lot of people, because home is, people are sick and tired of staying at home, but maybe that inspires people to put more into it, to invest more, to invest more energetically, to invest more creatively, spiritually. And so I feel like this reading is a kind of like, yeah, imagine a blank canvas. And it's not blank. It has 5 pentacles on it. It has a foundation. But now it's a time for you to like make it whatever you want to make it. Because this is it. This is it. And it's yours. And it's a gift. And what are you going to do with it? How are you going to make it roar? How are you going to make it feel like that, the brilliance and that beauty and the feeling of the Strength card is one of inner peace. And so it's about making your peace with working at home, with being at home, with a stiller life, with less, it's not nearly as frenetic as life was. And so to find your peace with that, to find the beauty in that, but to make it your own. The King of Swords is really kind of like, you got this. I love the double bear. So also look out for bear medicine throughout your week too, because you never know what the subtle messages are gonna bring up. Yeah. Hello to Jonathan. Jonathan, I'm sorry I missed your readings this morning. I put it on my calendar and then something else arose. And I had a reading just before this as well too. So next week, I really enjoyed it 2 weeks ago. For those of you that don't know, Jonathan does early morning readings on Tuesday. If anybody's up, well, early in Hawaii. Or no, yeah, very early in Hawaii. It must be 6 a.m. for you when you do those readings. My goodness, before your sun is up. This deck, one of the reasons I avoid using this deck is that it always kind of creates a deep reading. All right, so I am going to say hello to Tam and Shaylin and Fairy Wren. Hello. Yeah, I'm just reading. I'm laughing at Jonathan's comment. Hibernate, but I think within that hibernation we can do something really good. Oh, you're having a baby. Wow. I'm assuming that's a baby, a human baby. Beautiful. If I have misinterpreted that, please let me know. All right, Jess J, hello. If I didn't say, Julia Wiseman, hello. My Voice Tarot, I think I said hello to you. Okay. This is a big challenge. I have never done a public reading with the Full Arcos Tarot. And so IT Guy, this is for you. And you can take this as, Joseph, would you like to ask a specific question, or would you like me to just kind of see what's going on out there in the ether? And I am not going to use this deck. This is a very special reading. Joseph requested it, so I went and got it. It's not a deck that I feel comfortable. This deck is connected to dream work, to spirit. And I imagine that this might bring some clarity to some dreams that you've had, Joseph. It might also encourage you to bring some conscious awareness and breath as you set yourself up for sleep or meditation. I'm just waiting to see if Joseph has a question. Okay. Yes, a baby. I asked once. Okay. So this is the Full Arcos Tarot. And I'm going to do a 3-card reading with Joseph in mind. Joseph is IT Guy. Doesn't this feel like a dream? Kind of feels like a dream, doesn't it? With all those things floating around. You know, sometimes in a dream how things are not necessarily in focus. We have the dreamer of wings. It feels like definitely a time of creation, you know, like a time. I've done a private reading with Joseph, so I know that he was thinking of shifting up his business. And there's also a very youthful energy that we talked about before, Joseph. And I would say that there's still some refining, some shifting in how this whole thing is going to come to be. And to take this into your dreams, to take this into your, so for those of you, so one of the things that I do when I'm doing conscious path work, or I'm actually going to sleep, so I may take a tarot card, I may take an intention, and I sit upright in my bed, and then I kind of repeat my intention. And I ask that spirit support me through my sleep, and then also that I remember in the morning. And when I do that, I try to have a journal by the bed in case I wake up at 3:30 or 4 o'clock, which often happens when I'm there. I'm going to hold this up close to the camera so you can see the little words. So in the Full Arcos, in the minors, there are little messages all through on every single card. So this is the 8 of Wings, the 8 of Air. It says rebirth, and it says negotiate your rebirth. And this is exactly what I was feeling like I when I was talking about working with that younger energy and regrouping your business and rebuilding things, it really felt like you needed to bring all the players to the table. And this change is very much alive. And one of the things that's coming for me too here is that for those of you that know that this deck, there's no minors here in this reading. They're all fully saturated color, which means it feels like you're very close to figuring out what this project, what this new business is going to look like. And so this negotiate your rebirth feels to me like make sure that all the players are at the table and to keep the discussion open. And there's a lot to be learned from each other. And I want you to take a screenshot of that if you can. It's lovely, really, really lovely. I'm just going to leave that there so Joseph can take a screenshot. Negotiate your rebirth. Isn't that a beautiful thought, a beautiful message? I'm just, Bear is My Voice Tarot's animal. Oh, that's good to know. Yeah, it's a very powerful animal. This is a really good point that Jonathan makes. And for some people, it can become overwhelming. And so one of the things I've also been working with in a lot of readings is to learn to take your time with all of this. And that message has been reflected in, if you're learning a new tarot deck, to take your time and to just really enjoy the journey and enjoy one deck at a time. There's a real sense of learning to not rush so much. Jen would like a reading on my best path through the overwhelm and my best way to bring balance back during this extremely busy time. Okay. We can do that, Jen. I feel like I want to go, I don't know why, but Sasrabido feels like it's going to give some direct-ish answer. I just want to read Tam's comment. After your reading a few weeks ago on whether or not I should move in a new direction career-wise, and the cards advise strongly stay with the potential for growth, I received a promotion last week. Wow, congratulations. Okay. What time does the sun rise in Hawaii, Jonathan? I know I'm always behind in the comments. It's called negotiating the chat on StreamYard. Having another window open. So this reading is for Jen. This is a path forward reading. We're asking for steps in next action. Jen, my head feels very congested. My head feels very, very congested. So as your teacher, I want to say to you, ask you if you are doing your practices. And if you're not doing your practices, do your practices. We're going this way. Okay. I just want to make a little bit of a path here, and then we'll kind of read the path. I don't know if you remember what I said the other night about the Judgment card and what I was talking about as far as this is one of my favorite cards, not necessarily in this deck. I do like it in this deck. It's quite a beautiful. I see this as there's a woman in a blanket, and she's about to open the blanket and experience her transformation. But it feels like you've been going through a lot. And all of this seeming chaos and all of the stories and all of the struggles are bringing your focus to the small things. They're not helping you to see the big picture. And what the big picture here is that these struggles, these things that you are focused on, are part of your transformation. And so how you negotiate, how you manage, how you perceive these struggles, how you perceive these, what was your words here? Overwhelming way and my best way to bring balance back during this extremely busy time. You know, and I don't know how many of you actually do this. Like if you can picture the little situations at a distance. So you take one particular story and you put it over there, and you take the other one and you put it there, and you put another one there, and then you actually step back and you imagine seeing it from far away. Sometimes that can help, because the easiest way to step up and out of your story is to go as far back as possible, spatially, to go far back spatially. And these two cards kind of mirror each other, you know, the kind of like woe is me energy. I will put these all better into the frame so you can see. And I want you to say stop it, and I want to say stop it, because not woe is me. For the Judgment card to come up first, it means that you need to pay attention. You need to pay more attention to the big message of these overwhelming things, and to ask yourself, as you negotiate each one of them, you can ask Spirit. So sometimes what I do is when I'm feeling like this, I say, I can't deal with this. It's too much. So I march straight over to my altar, to my picture of my my guru. I light a candle and I say, I need you to deal with this because I can't. And so that's kind of a egoic way of stepping into trust, but it's also another way of saying, I need your help. I need your support. And you are going through a really big transformation right now. I know this personally, but also energetically, the cards are repeating this. It's like this transformation is not going to be an easy journey for you. You're going to have your hands on your face and covering your head, and you're going to get headaches and all of this. And the process of how you manage this is the most important thing. It's almost like your lesson is learning how to manage the process. And so it's not actually about what's going on with the family. It's about you learning how to navigate the waters. And everything else is extraneous, which sounds crazy because all of those things seem really important right now. And so this big transformation for you is like that deer that drops out of mummy and has to learn how to walk. This is a very bizarre reading. Is this resonating with you at all? Like this feels like, and so what I would suggest is that you take each of the situations, like I was saying, and I was actually like picturing like a ball, like a Christmas ornament or something, and putting the message or putting the situation into, like you could put on a sticky or a ball and just put them a little further away. Maybe even put on some magnifying, get a magnifying glass and just kind of go like, okay, yeah, that's happening, that's happening, that's happening, that's happening. And yeah, this is the way I'm going to go. Like I don't know, it feels like it's not about all of the things that are overwhelming you. It's like you're missing the message. I want to see what Jen has been saying to me here. Okay. Right? And I think this message is a bigger message for more people today as well too. And this was part of it's not so different from that first reading that I did. Like this is not so different from the energy I was feeling in the King of Swords in that first reading. It's like you can pick up your sword, you can pick up your wand and take charge of this. But what is important is your journey. Yeah. Okay. Hello to Joel. Hello to Joel. Bonjour to Burning Dreamer. So Tamsin, I'm curious about this. So you asked me once if you were going to have another baby in a reading. Can you clarify that? I'm really happy for you. That's so beautiful. All right. So we're going to go to Jess, and then I see Tamsin is there. So Jen is confirming that. Jess is next. Okay. A career reading. Okay. A career reading. You know, I find this is one of the fortes of the Muse Tarot is to, woof, sorry, that woof was to let the Muse Tarot be the Muse, because it's full of creative potential. And I think, I don't know, I'm sensing that might be something that Jess J needs right now. I don't know if I can actually shuffle this whole deck at the same time. It's a fat deck. What am I going to say now? All right, Jess J, this is for you. So, ooh, look at the shapes. Are we gonna have another circle here? Love it when shapes repeat themselves and so forth. That's a big reading, Jess J. I would say that the next job, the next step is bigger than you ever imagined. And this feels like this is the theme for today. The theme for today is think bigger, go bigger. And this might not just mean in a dynamic financial, bigger job, more money kind of way. That's not what I mean. I mean, think big picture. Think big picture. Also, because the Knight of Wands is there, the career might not be right where you live right now. Like the Knight of Wands likes to travel. The Knight of Wands likes to move from place to place. There's so much creative potential there. Like, I feel this is an opportunity to, if you're winding something up right now, like, let it wind up and celebrate it and be grateful for all of that. But this feels like a big transition for you. And I would take that job offer if you have a job offer. If you don't have a job offer, like, it's there. The universe is dangling a job offer. You just haven't seen it. Sorry, my third eye is just like very, very energized right now. Just Jay, is that clear for you? Hello to Kathy Kerr. So I'm just going to kind of keep that there just in case there's anything else that she wants to ask. I'm going to go ahead and look at Tamsin's question. Can I ask how my future endeavors in salt will turn out? Okay, good. So Jess is clear on that. Salt. Are you in a salt business? Is that a metaphor for something? Help me. Is that a metaphor for something? Or is that quite literally salt? Or is salt a place? I guess I don't need to know the answer. Okay, so the question is, actually, I'm kind of liking this deck. How will Tamsin's future in salt turn out? Ah. Bath salts. Why throat? Why throat? I'm not sure why I'm going to my throat, Tamsin. Throat. So as you build your brand, I don't know. I'm thinking like, what does salt have to do with the throat? What does bath salt have to do with the throat? Okay, so of course we're going to get Ace of Voices. Tamsin, I had my hand on my throat, and then I pull Ace of Voices. You get that? Had my hand on my throat. My throat was just going like full of energy, and then I turn over Ace of Voices. So I really like what Peace Ninja Woman said. Does anybody else have an idea? What about a plate? You don't want to put a playlist, but yeah, this is like to have the 8 of materials here is really like fortuitous. So this feels like it's gonna grow well. Oh my goodness. Look at them. Look at them in the waters. So let's think. Let's help brainstorm for Tamsin. How can we bring the medicine of the voice into the bath salt business? And so that's the question I'd like you to ponder. So salt equals purification. Throat, 5th chakra, is purification into the 5th dimension. So something, like some kind of a spiritual message in the bath salts might be something really unique, or the names of the salts are connected to spirit in some way. So the salts are called by spiritual names, like this is the Durga bath salt, and this is the Persephone bath salt that has pomegranate oil in it. I don't know. That was a pretty clear message, so I would run with that if I were you. And then we just jump into the bath and have a party with everybody, right? I love it. Okay. Ooh, you've been struggling with names. Okay. Good to know. Good to know we're on track here. Fairy Wren Whispers. Poolkets Siny. So I don't see your... I'm going to go here, Jen, and if this is not where I was supposed to go. Oh, I see. No. Okay, so we'll get to the question once it's posted. Yes, Joel. So this is a trimmed copy of the deck. It does have a border. And the thing about this deck is that in the minor suits, so the thing about the minors is that they look like a dream. They're very sparse. They're not fully painted. So from the 2 to the 9 to the 10, the color builds. So this is the suit of spirals, which is pentacles. So the color saturation grows through the 10. And then the knight in each suit is black and white. It's monochrome. And they're called trails, the knights, and they are what take you into your journey. The other really interesting thing about this deck is that, let's see if I can, I'll just show you a few cards. What I wanted to show you was, so here is an ace. So the aces are also black and white. And then the aces are mirrored in the 10. So I want to show you, there's another ace. Oh, yeah, I'll show you that card in a second if you haven't seen this deck. I just want to get you a 10. And then we'll go to the next reading. Why can't I find a 10? Okay, so here is, this is, well, it's not the same one, but the 10 is fully colored. So there's this like progression of realization within each of the minor suits from the ace to the 10. And this is the most amazing tower card I have ever seen. This is, you can see the energy just blasting through the woman in this picture, whether it's Kundalini energy rising or whether it's coming from spirit above and moving down. It doesn't really matter. It's just this beautiful spiritual transformation. So yeah, so that's the Filarcos Tarot by Carmen Sorrenti. Okay. Okay, so we're going to go to sorry guys. Phuket wants to know what's in holding for my future love. Okay. Oh my goodness. All right, found it. Okay. When's in holding, or what's, I'm sure it's what's in holding for my future love. Phuket. Signy. Phuket Signy. Ooh. Heat. Heat. More heat. Well, that's a pretty sweet set of 3 cards. Are you in a relationship already, Phuket? Or are you not in a relationship? Because this looks like a very beautiful set of 3 cards, but I don't really know what your question is. So you're not in a relationship. So the energy around you is definitely supporting beautiful relationship. So what I would be looking for is somebody who inspired you creatively. I would be looking for somebody who makes you feel alive and energetic, somebody who perhaps is a little more outgoing than you normally would choose, because we have both the Six of Wands and the Queen of Wands. And so what would be what would nourish your spirit is to have somebody who was a little more fiery, and fiery in a really beautiful embodied kind of way. This is not an energy of somebody with fire out of balance. It's somebody with so much creative spirit. This is a beautiful card to have here. So this feels like, yeah, love, family is definitely within your scope right now, right? The energy is around you. These are really beautiful cards. So if you're not attracted to the energy of somebody who is, and this is also somebody who's going to, speak their mind, somebody who's going to lead and want to be partially, like in control of the relationship and the family, and somebody who will not say, to bow their head and say, yes, I'll do what you say, right? So this is somebody who's going to inspire you as well too, by being so strong. And this is a gorgeous card. So 10 of Cups represents a wealth of emotions and family and love and all of that. And so all of the tarot readers who are in the chat will just say, like, just keep your ears, your eyes, your heart open, and you will know when it walks through the door. And if anybody else has a message for Phuket, please feel free to Pulkits, please feel free to chime in. Does Pisces like me back? I'm going to go back to where I was. I think that felt really good. Does Pisces like me back? This message is for Shaylin. What is your sign, Shaylin? I'm curious what your sign is. So is this why you're confused? Because this would represent some sort of miscommunication, perhaps, in your relationship. Was there a text message that was misunderstood? Was there some kind of miscommunication? Did somebody say something hurtful? I'm just wondering what that is. So the cards would suggest that, yes, things are changing. Things are changing for the better. Air, 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 Aquarius and Pisces. Yeah, so this definitely can also represent the confusion of your mind as well too. But you asked about, What was your question? Does Pisces like you back? I don't know what's going on right now for you to ask this question, but if there has been confusion, if there has been smoke, if there has been obscurity to the clearness of messages, this card would indicate clarity and that the relationship would be moving in a new direction. I hope that makes sense to you. What can I improve or think about when being social? It's a really deep question, Joel. Isn't that a good question? Feels like a question we should all ask. Beautiful question. Joel is asking what he can improve or think about when being social and making contact. Energetically, the message I'm getting is like, stand tall. Something about your backbone. So that would reflect, like, be you. Like, not succumbing to what you think other people want to see or want to hear. Whoa. What is the Knight of Swords running to in this? To the motorcycle. Running to hop on the motorcycle. This feels like permission to I want to say, like, take flight. Wow. Okay, so let's see if we can weave this together. This is quite a message to weave together here. So in the Star card, she has her hands at her heart, gazing up for inspiration from the sky. The card in the center, the hands are held out in front. Extremely connected. And then the card on the left is, I don't feel it's a bad card in any way. When I saw this, I wanted to say to hold your heart in your hands. There's something about the hands here that's really important. And I felt like with that Knight of Swords presenting, it felt like to not hold back, to not hold back. Sometimes we're so worried about editing what it is that we want to say. And I feel that this message is that what is in your heart and what is in your hands is so true and so pure that you don't need to worry about editing your presentation because it's beautiful. And so I feel like this is giving you permission just to go for it and to be you. And so before I drew the cards, I was feeling my backbone. And so I want you to stand tall. I want you to be proud of who you are, exactly as you are. There's nothing to edit. There's nothing to, you don't need to be different. Just be you. Because what you are is amazing. Embodied, spiritual, hopeful. And so let that shine through. You don't need to be anything else. Okay? Joel says, yes, I guess. Okay, Jen says, Burning Dreamer is next. That's what I've got to here. Okay. I am mistreated at work. My boss does not consider me fair value. I disturb him. He tried to fire me in September, and given the current context, I feel trapped. Okay. May I play hardball here? I'm going to play hardball just for a moment. Let's look at the language. And then we'll go to the reading. I am mistreated. Okay. So these are journal questions, okay? These are journal prompts for yourself. Do you mistreat yourself? If so, how and why? Do you mistreat you? Okay, so the next one is, can you look in your own two eyes in the mirror and say, I have tremendous value. I am worthy. So you look in the mirror and you say your name and you say, I am worthy. I have tremendous value. Or when you do that, when you look in the mirror, do you subvert your eyes? So part of this, and I can share this with everybody who's in the chat. So part of this work is to understand that the relationships that challenge us the most are relationships that help us to look inward and to see inward. Okay, so the next one is, I disturb him. So in what way do you disturb yourself? This is such powerful language. And I know this is a lot for me, like not even talking to you to put that out there, but I really encourage this kind of work because it can make a huge, huge transformation. How have you trapped yourself? How have you trapped yourself? Okay, so these are all super big questions, and I would encourage you to put them each on the top of a different piece of paper and to be brave and to go deep with them. Okay. So now I'm going to shuffle the cards. And try to state this as one question. Why does burning dreamer 13 feel trapped is one question. Another question might be, how might burning dreamer 13 be released from this trap? So perhaps the cards will give us the answer to both questions. You are amazing. You are amazing, right? This is, you need to build up you. I can feel that. Okay, so let's go. I have, I'll put the camera on. Okay, so I would say number one is a gratitude jar. So do you know what a gratitude jar is? You cut up a whole bunch of little pieces of paper. You get a mason jar or a vase or something. And you put that, you know, on your kitchen counter. And you have all the blank pieces of paper and you just start filling up your gratitude jar. This is what I'm grateful for. This is what I have. I already live in abundance. I need to remind myself of this. And you just keep filling up the jar every day, one or two pieces of paper, put it in there, put it in there, put it in there, because abundance is already around you. It's already there. And, you know, I laughed when I saw this Page of Cups because one of the things that came to mind was that it's almost like you are stepping on yourself. You are walking on yourself. And so it feels like all of those questions I was asking you before I even shuffled the cards, this is about almost like a childlike journey into your emotions. And so you need to give yourself, you don't need to, you don't have to do any of this. But if you took the time to give yourself space and time to dive into these emotions and to write about these emotions and to feel them from a very kind of raw and childlike perspective, you would learn a lot about yourself, and maybe you would gain insight into why you feel the way you do, because the way you're feeling, the way that your boss treats you is a repetition of a pattern of the way somebody else already treated you before. And so this is about you really understanding that pattern so that you can shift that pattern. And this might, right, this might take some time to grow, but this is deep inner work for you. And so I want to give you a hug and I want you to go get, I don't know, like either go get a really pretty journal, get one with no lines on it, go get a new pack of colored pencils, get some stickers, you know, or go get a really, really cheap one that you can, you know, rip pages out if you feel angry, that you can rip pages out and throw them into the fire if you need to throw them into the fire, right? Because there's power in that. And sometimes I think not getting a beautiful journal is the best thing, so that you can actually tear out some of the pages and, like you say, like, okay, I've expressed this and now I'm done with it, and then give it back to spirit. I hope that helps. Okay. Now, I'm going to get a little bit selfish here. I need to say something because this is also important for you. And that is, I'm doing these readings for the greater good. These readings are complimentary. And one of the things is really important is that if you aren't able to make a donation for your reading today, is that you take the feeling that you received from your reading and you pay it forward. So you share your gift, you share your energy with someone else. And so that there's an exchange, because exchanges of energy are really, really important to keep things into balance. It's one of the important ways of keeping things in balance. So, yeah. I wanted to comment on what Jonathan said here about starting readings early in the morning, and also about my practice and about that special time of the morning before the sun comes up. So the yogis teach us that, oh, you don't need to see this coffee cup. The yogis teach us that this hour is this time of day is called Brahman. It's not called Brahman, but it's connected to it's very deeply connected to God. It's such a beautiful time of the day to connect to spirit. And so if you can get up before the sun, and to also, did you ever notice like that time of morning, like the ether is different? There's a different frequency. And it's a really beautiful time to pray. It's a beautiful time to meditate. It's a beautiful time to journal or do anything reflective, really, to read sacred text, to light a candle and read sacred text by candle. All of those things. Yeah. So to do your readings at that time of day is really special, Jonathan. Yeah. And the quiet of the house before your son gets up, and on a spiritual level, it's just such a beautiful time to offer that to others. So yeah, thank you. All right. Where are we, Jen? Kathy Kerr, can you read for me career and finances? Okay. Kathy Kerr, let me find you. Thanks, Jen, for keeping me on track. And we're already at 1:12. I don't really feel like I'm done for today. So, Jen, if you can't stay, I totally get it. I'll probably do a couple more after Kathy. Can you read for me about career and finances? Career and finances. Okay. Let's get practical. I don't know. Kathy, do you read tarot? Kathy? I feel like I was going to do This Might Hurt, but I'm thinking Pagan Otherworlds. Do you have a preference? I will count to 5. I'm kind of feeling Pagan Otherworlds, but let's see. I'll start shuffling. Okay. Welcome. I see Noor is here. George is here. Welcome. Shirley S., welcome to you. Okay, Kathy Kerr. Career and finance. I never noticed this before today. This deck is heavy. Heavy. Never occurred to me to actually like weigh a deck. And that makes sense because the core inside the paper is different, right? Different paper printers use different quality core. Okay. Whew. There's a lot of fire. It's a lot of wands. First question is, what can you release? What can you let go of? What can you let go of? You know what strikes me on this card is that there's growth on the branches, but it won't continue to grow because the branches have been cut. That's interesting. All right. Whoa, Kathy. Are you feeling a little overwhelmed? Holy cow. That's you know what, if I was, oh, thank you, Burning Dreamer. That's very sweet of you. If you, right, if I was teaching tarot and I would say, okay, let's pull 3 cards to show that somebody is feeling like overwhelmed to the max, like I would pull these 3 cards. Like that is a lot. So the first thing I want to say is to take a breath. Like seriously, take a breath. Go get a massage. If you can't afford to get a massage, lie down on the floor and do some stretching. Like really gentle stretching. Go to my playlist for 40 days of restorative yoga and let go. This is about, you know, right now there's a process that you need to be in, and instead of racing to the next career, racing to the next finances, there's some definite emotion and pain and sometimes I feel like I'm repeating myself, and I try to say things in different ways, but you need to be in this right now. Like this feels like an energetic vice. And for some reason right now, you need to be in this energetic vice and to feel the energy of this, because this is where you are right now. And we can't move through it until we allow ourselves to be in it. So don't dummy it down. Offer it. You can offer it to spirit, but you need to feel it, fully feel it. Like lie down on the sofa, lie down on the floor and feel it and bawl your eyes out, whatever it is. And then you can say to spirit, okay, I know this might take me a little while to move through this, and I'm going to feel it. I'm not going to dummy it down. I'm not going to suppress it. Okay, so now I'm going to pull 3 cards for the next step. These are so powerful. And if any of you tarot readers in the chat have a word of support for Kathy, I know she would appreciate it. You know, there's so much congestion here, Kathy. And control. Oh my God. Okay. Kathy, you need to let go. You're holding so tight. I don't feel like this is the vehicle to get to the bottom of this. So I don't know if you're seeing a counselor. I don't know if you have any support in any way, if you're able to talk to friends about this. But before you can move on with anything, before the wheel is going to turn, the process of letting go of whatever it is that has brought you to this point, it needs to happen. So the second three cards speak to control, 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 control. So you need to let go of wanting to control. And on the other side of that, you need to stand up for yourself as well too. So when I see the Emperor facing that Seven of Wands, that definitely speaks to you standing up for yourself. But the need for nourishment here is so, so great. Hey, Anna Torres. Okay. Okay. So, Kathy, I'm not getting any feedback. So nobody's going to chime in here because this is really heavy. So what I would say, Kathy, is just to make sure, where are we at here? I just want to make sure that you're looked after. That's what I want to make sure of. In an energetic and an emotional way. And that is the most important thing right now. Perhaps go to a website and to look up practices of forgiveness. Love yourself. I don't know if you can tell, but when readings are like this, I feel like this is it's just, it's hard for me because I need to have a conversation with the person on the other side of the camera. So, but maybe that's just what you needed to hear. So, okay. Hopefully the next one will be a little lighter because that's a lot of heavy. Okay, this is the last one. Okay, so the next is Zaneb. All right. I enjoy reading your comments. Oh, and Keita's here. I didn't say hello to Keita. All right, so the last reading for today is going to go to Zaneb. And I don't see Zaneb's comment, but that's okay. I'm just going to take off Kathy's. Okay. So Zaneb is asking, what's coming next for me and Usman? What's coming next for me and Usman? Okay. It's really helpful for me if it goes onto the screen when I'm reviewing these. But I don't see Zaneb. Oh, yes, there it is. Okay, yay. Okay. All right. What's coming next for you and Usman? All right. So for those of you that didn't get a reading today, you can reach out to me and you can book a private reading through my website. The information's in the description box below. You can come back next Tuesday. Star card is wanting to show its way today. Okay, so in order for, I'm just going to read the cards directly. So in order for the two of you to grow, in order for the love to grow, in order for the relationship to move in a positive, balanced way, all of this stuff needs to be released. So if either of you have had previous relationships that you tend to talk about or worry about, if there were mistakes that you made early on in the relationship, whatever it is, you need to let the other stuff go because it doesn't matter. The only way that the relationship is going to bloom is if you focus on the cup half full, not the cup half empty. So that means to keep your eye on the light, to nourish what is good, and to let what is not good go because it's not important. There is hope for this relationship. There is light. There's positive, beautiful energy around the relationship. And I think that perhaps you know this already. The High Priestess is there. Maybe there are some secrets. Maybe there are some things that haven't been told or revealed. But it feels like this first card, this Five of Cups, and the energy around, this is a lesson for all of us. But sometimes when things are challenging in a relationship, we tend to focus on the dark and we forget why we fell in love. We forget why we were first attracted to each other. And so we need to go back to that and we need to nourish that and we need to feed that so that it can grow. And all of these broken cups can get buried in the dirt. We don't need to keep the broken cups, the chipped dishes. They're not, we can, the Japanese art where you put broken plates back together with gold paint. You can do that. But if they're broken, and just let them go. And this is not a major card. It feels like this is totally doable for you. Totally doable. Hey, Sunny. So, Zaneb, I hope that makes sense to you. And if there's anything quite literal on these cards that is speaking to you, and this might be a funny message, and I don't know if it's entirely appropriate, but is to appreciate Usman's beauty. Appreciate Usman's beauty. Appreciate Usman's like beauty, meaning like the inner beauty. Yeah. And the last thing I want to say was I pulled a shadow card. The shadow is the Seven of Swords. And I have a feeling that this here is the Seven of Swords. And I don't know whether it was an infidelity or a broken trust or a lie or a secret that was told that wasn't supposed to be told. But I think you can get through this. Yeah, I definitely think you can get through this. Alrighty. So thank you. Thank you for joining me today. I love doing this, and let me know if any of you that have had readings have feedback for me. I really appreciate it. I love that Tamsin shared her story today. That is so beautiful. Yeah. Thanks, Joel. Yeah. And so at the beginning of next Tuesday, if you do have any decks that you would like to see, or you would like to have your reading with a particular deck, know that that's always an option. I may not have that deck on the table, so if I can go and get it before I start, that's really helpful. And for those of you that have had readings today, make sure you pay it forward to somebody. Share your gifts with somebody that you love, or better yet, with a stranger. Stay well, everybody. Namaste, and thank you to the mods for their support. I really appreciate it, especially Jen today. Oh, Joel says one question fast. Okay. I'm waiting for Joel's one question fast. What is that, Joel? What are my thoughts on Children of Litha Tarot? I don't have it. So I can answer that next week. I can look at it. I can look at images. I can look at a walkthrough, and I can answer that next week. Okay? Or if you ask me that question in the comments below, I will have a look at it and answer it down there. All right? Stay well, everybody. See you next week.